Welcome to another episode of last week's Comics Today. I've got some stories to tell this week, but we're going to start with Phantom Road. It's another great issue, honestly. There is just craziness happening here. And this guy's head explodes on page 1. There's a bit of a flashback for both of our main characters. As far as this is what I didn't show happened at the end of the previous issue, but she touches this thing, and like I was saying, there are flashbacks for both of our main characters as far as their backstory goes, and neither of them are good. It's quite horrifying, but it's so well done. It's just a great issue, and then there are heads exploding, and it's insanity, and I love it. The art's great, the writing is bizarre, but also incredible. It's really well done. Highly recommended if you are open to, occasional exploding head, things that are not explained, and general weirdness, but all of which is well done. We're Flavours issue 4, and I believe this is a 6-issue series. I don't see the end coming anytime soon, but last issue, this guy found out that this guy is a supernatural being that eats people, and this is the fallout from that. So they have been on a road trip. Neither one is near home, but they are stuck together. And what happens after you find out that your traveling companion, eats people? It's a bit tense, but also great. There's also the resolution to a subplot that was running parallel to the story last issue, so that also concludes. But it's just great stuff. There's a bit of a flashback here as well about this guy and what he was doing for hundreds of years, and that's great stuff too. There's another recipe in here, all of which is great. It's really good. I hope people are reading it, because these guys did Lila Star last year, I think 22 possibly, but it was a fantastic read. For me, put both of them on my personal map, and I hope this is a collaboration that extends for many years to come, because these two working together just produce incredible works. Duke issue 3, and I think this is a better issue than 2. Also, after my video went up for issue 2, I was talking about CoverGirl and where she was, because she was at the end of issue 1, but she hasn't shown up since. And Berg commented that he thought maybe she was CoverGirl. I don't think he's right. But if it turns out he is, then I will give credit where credit is due. But we get some Baroness stuff this issue, which is, frankly, pretty great. So, the end of previous... this guy shows up. So, as I was saying, issue 2 ends with Duke and Baroness and his friend all in prison, in a Joe prison, and we get a bit of history on her in this new universe, which is great stuff. And another flashback to this, which he's not talking about. And there's a breakout, there's a assassination attempt, there's a murder attempt? I don't know what to call it, but he shows up to kill some people. There's a fight which doesn't go well. It continues not to go well. Everyone is talking up Duke, and that happens. And like I said, it's a better issue than 2. This is just great. I don't know. I can't tell where it's going, but this is a 5-issue series, so there's 2 more left, and I'm loving it. Conan issue 8, and I'm going to show off how this ends, hopefully non-spoiler, but like this, with a question mark. And based on reading solicitations for what's to come, I don't remember if Free Comic Book Day is lumped into this or not, but the next arc continues the overall story the disconnected story of Conan and the infection, the black stone that was causing issues back in the first arc with basically a village of, what do they call them in The Walking Dead? The horde, the group of zombies that was going through the countryside back in the first arc, and Conan dealt with that, and then had a supernatural experience. That experience continues, is revisited, and will be, it's ongoing, basically. Even though years have passed within the story, it's the connective tissue for each of these arcs. So, it ends with a question mark, it ends with a sword stab, and it's good. It's good. I want to see where it goes next. The next arc will be a return to the first artist, who I prefer over Doug Braithwaite, but this is still great as well. It's pretty devastating as far as this is a possessed Conan who is murdering people because, again, he's possessed. It's still great stuff. I'm still enjoying it. I'm hoping I'll enjoy the next arc better, but this is also great. Canary, issue 3. This is the end. This is roughly issues 5 and 6 because these are such large issues. And I believe all of this is done as a digital first for Dark Horse. Anyway, this ends the series, and it is weird. There's a bunch of stuff happening. It, to me, is reminiscent of early American Vampire with just well done Scott Snyder writing, and possibly, sure, the setting too. But Panosian's art is excellent. I don't think there's quite as nice of the sky sunsets as the last issue that I was pointing out, or maybe that was first issue. But the art continues to be great. It's great stuff. The art's great, the writing's strong. This is the Snyder that I prefer. This is sort of the Witches territory, which I wasn't a huge fan of, but I don't know. I talk a lot about Snyder and how I think his best stuff was pre-New 52. American Vampire, up until the end. I don't think the ending was that great, but American Vampire, Witches, which he was supposed to return to, but it's in that sort of Witches, supernatural horror territory, with excellent art. So, oh yeah, there's this too. Like, just a lot of weird stuff, but it's all really well done. I mean, look at this thing. Yikes. So if you think this is up your alley, this guy gets stabbed, unfortunately. But I definitely recommend. It is some of the strongest Snyder material that I've read in years, with excellent art. This is an odd one for me. This is the reprint of X-Men 268, and the story behind this is I've seen this cover art for a long time. I think this was on one of the early Marvel 90s collectible card sets. And early on, so this was like 91, 92, I think those started. And I think the second set was 92. I think 91, 92. So I was about 11 at the time. And that was my primary Marvel reading material, in all honesty. I read the back of every one of those cards. I devoured it. And I've seen this image now for decades. And I liked the idea of the three of these teaming up back in the 40s. That is unfortunately not what happens here. But because I had this idea in my head for so long, when the opportunity arose, I bought it. This cover price is frankly unacceptable, but I, wanted to read it. And Berg made a comment recently, unrelated, don't meet your heroes, and I'm going to say that's the case here as well, because what actually happens is there are events happening in two times, there's the stuff happening in the 40s with Captain America and Logan, and then there is other stuff happening in the, at the time, present, so in the 90s, with Black Widow and the X-Men. Because it turns out she was actually a teenager back in the 40s. I did not read Avengers growing up, so I didn't know, honestly, that much about Black Widow. If I had done the math, that's actually her there. I think she's 13, even though she looks 9, maybe 7. But she was born in 1928, which surprises me. But yeah, I liked the idea of these three teaming up, and unfortunately that's not what this issue is, and, you know, that happened. But I finally know the story of this particular issue, even if it's not the one that I had hoped for in my head all these years. So I'll check that off the list, and I don't know, write a fan fiction. Lastly, there is the Savage Sword of Conan. If you can't tell already, this is an oversized, sort of magazine-sized, black and white newsprint of Conan material. And this is all new. I will show you, because I have become the page number guy. I will show you that there is a table of contents here at the start. I do wish these were lumped up here as well instead of separate, but that it doesn't have page numbers, and in this case I don't care, because most of this is this story here. So 40-something pages. It's pretty clear, you know, if you turn to a page, you're on that story, right? And the rest of this is also pretty clear, because this is some of this is prose, and so like, it's obvious, even though it doesn't have page numbers. The point is, it's great. And also, I haven't finished reading this, and Berg was correct. I think this is cover B. This is the better cover, in my opinion. So, this is just great. This will be a 6-issue series, volume. I don't know. I haven't looked ahead to see if it's sort of the same creators working on additional material for the other issues. I will have to check that out, because this, by the way, it's Conan versus a dinosaur. It looks insane. I mean, look at this. Look at that. I already want to see this in color. I don't know if this is material that was originally in color, like if it was drawn black and white, or if it was made black and white from color, but man, I want to see this colored. I mean, the dinosaur stuff alone, but oh my god, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And yes, I already want to see this reprinted. But it's great. I will finish this, but it's great. I already recommend it. So that is everything that I got this week. I have not considered Pick of the Week. I will give it, crazily enough, to Phantom Road. But all of this, this is a great ending. I hope people read this. That's all I can hope for. Phantom Road is just the craziest thing I've read in a while. Rare Flavours, also great. Dupe, surprisingly great, in my opinion, surprisingly. I guess I have low expectations for the G.I. Joe stuff, but this is exceeding those expectations. Yeah, it's a strong week for comics. But that's everything that I got this week. As always, I get all of my books from a local comic shop. If you don't know where yours is, you can use this URL to find the one closest to you. Thanks for watching.